That's not going to be on the tape. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another exciting episode of Meet the. And today, I actually had this sister's. I mean, not only is she just amazing and gorgeous and just. Oh, let me say this ahead of time. This is not for kids. I'm gonna talk like I talk. We're gonna go very adult, and it's gonna be off the chain. So any kids that's in the room, get them out the room now. I gave y'all warning. This might not be on the Instagram warning, but this young lady is a friend of mine. So much to go into. I don't even know where to start. I just start by saying, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Meet the with Troy Rawlins. Welcome the goddess, the seven-figure entrepreneur, the embodiment of sexy hood, Miss Nyomi Banks.
Why, thank you, Mr. Rollins. So I said, okay. I did my research on this. I said, I need you to help me out. I need you to tell me who are the most reputable agencies that's out there. And so he had given me two, and I contact one of them. And, you know, he wanted to work with me. But somewhere I ended up with Jim South. I think I just felt comfortable with Jim South because he did send me out on modeling gigs.
Not to be confused with Peter North. Okay, hold on.
But this is the first one that I didn't know. That I didn't, you know.
Jim South.
Yeah, Jim South from World Modeling.
Like, any relation to Peter North? No.
Oh, no, wow, did you go there?
That's an inside joke, only. Literally.
But from there, I went to him and he said, I got you. He said, about time I got you. So then he had sent me out to video team. He sent me out to a few company video teams, and video team actually offered me a contract. They wanted me to be one of their contract girls. And Jim South sat down with me and he said, I understand. He said, I remember you coming in and you said the money that you need. He said, being on contract, you're not going to make as much money now. He said, if you're not on contract, he said, this is where I can kind of send you to everybody. Because when you're on contract, you only shoot strictly with that company. That's it, you know. And even when I went there to video team, and I love Kim and Chris Mann. Chris Mann was the owner of video team. And they both sat me down and they truly told me about the business, especially Kimberly, who was a Black woman who worked right there with Richard Mann. Not Richard Mann, did I say his name? Christopher Mann, I'm sorry. Because there is a porn star named Richard Mann. Okay, let me go back. So, and you know, she kind of broke it down to me. She said, this is what you do. This should be your rate. You don't go no further than this. She said, and once you start to win things and your accolades through the years, she said, then you bring it up here. Like she literally broke it down to me. And she said, because she said, you coming in top tier. I was like, okay. So the first scene I did was with Mr. Marcus. And that was a blessing. I didn't know what to do. I was like, okay, I'm about to.
It's a lot of girls right now who knew who that is and like, that is a blessing, girl.
Yeah. And I was like, okay.
Because he worked with you and you didn't know, you totally knew and you like.
Right, you know, really, mind you, the closest thing that I was watching with porn, and I'll be honest, is the
Cinemax.
The Cinemax movies, for real, the late night Cinemax movies. But I knew porn was a little different. I knew it was a little hardcore because I was dating this one dude that was doing these little bootleg type of things and was trying to get me to watch them, and I wouldn't watch them. I wouldn't watch them.
No, baby, it's like
right. So I knew it was
camera. That's scaring me.
Right. So I knew it was something that was that I had to really have sex. So I figured, I'm pretty good at having sex, so I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. So, but he kind of helped me through it.
Is that because most people don't realize that as much as they see porn, and most people are like, yes. But you know, I'm friends with Kitten, Marcy. And when I had Marcy years ago on my talk show, and they were like, well, how do you do this? How do you do this? And she was like, vodka and Vicodin. She was like, what? Because a lot of people think everything is like, you know, it's action, but it's a set.
It's a set.
And it's people with shields, and it's a bunch of people. And for one set, how many people on average will be around you when you're doing a scene?
It depends on the production. It depends on production and the money. Let's be honest on what kind of budget.
I say for your, because you weren't all, you did a little bit of everything, I know, but you were one of the females that if you saw it, you could be top billed with a major white lady. Yeah. And there's a big, like I said, we're gonna have to do a part 2 because there's the segregation.
Yeah, it is. It is
in the industry.
It is. It was. It was a two sides. It was. It was two sides to the industry. I mean, that's just what the world. And I hate that I'm saying this right now, but that's what it is, and that's where they separate. But in that scene there, Marcus he's like, no, you did great. He said, you just need to know when to look at the camera and stuff like that. He said, but otherwise, you're great. He said, you're gonna go far. He said, matter of fact, I want to introduce you to some people. He said, meet me here. And the next thing I know, I'm at Lexington Steel office. So I sat with him and Vanessa Blue. And they was like, yeah, girl, yeah. And so I was able to be around the tops right out the door. My second one, I think it was Julian St. Jacques. So you know what I'm saying? I was there with all of those big name people, like right out the door. And
now here's the thing, and because this is the thing I always think about. You have a pay, and this is any entertainer. So anybody watching this as an entertainer, these, whether this is your industry or not, whether you're a cam girl or what have you, thinking you could, it's different from a Cherokee starting a cam thing who already has a following.
Yeah. Versus
the average young woman saying, I'm just going to start a OnlyFans. Yeah. And you don't even know the principle of how you're getting your money, so by this time you had your production company.
Oh yeah, I had my production company.
You see these contracts, but you went in and told them what you wanted up front.
Yeah. So for that one right here, and I'm gonna be honest, when I did go back to Jim South and we went back and forth about these contracts, I remember there was a really good lawyer then, Michael Federosi is his name. He was and I want to say was like he's no longer, but because I believe he's still doing very great work in the adult industry, that he actually gave me advice. Jim called him up. He came to the office and he sat down and talked to me. And he said, well, we can get more scenes or whatever in there that you want. He said, but if you're not trying to be in here long, and that's the thing, I wasn't trying to be in the industry long. You understand what I'm saying? So, and he was like, if you're not trying to make this a longevity thing, then I think you should go this route. But the problem is when I hit the screen, it just blew up. It just, everything just blew up. The next thing I know, I was offered a toy deal. I turned that down because the money wasn't right with the toy deal. You understand what I'm saying? So, mind you, I still thought that I was not going to be in this industry that long.
He keeps saying the go-tos. I'm not going to be here long, y'all. Right. My bags are over there.
Right. I did not think I was going to be in that industry that long. When I say
one other thing, you don't get royalties though.
No.
So whatever you make is what you make.
Is what you make.
So unless you fully own, like Lexington, does he owns the right of stuff on his package?
Yes,
so
he owns the right. Yes. And so let me tell you how all of that changed. So a year
when I say package, I mean his box. I don't mean his.
I understood what you mean.
I'm just talking.
I understood what you were saying.
That's what's fun about it. I can still say stuff and she'd be like, try. Sorry. And she a goddess. We haven't gotten to the goddess stuff yet. But when you have Nyomi, who's been at the top, she's been a top tier coming in the gate. You were like the face of you were like the face of a statuesque model, but it makes so much sense now that you had a modeling career, that you are in the industry, because if you talk to people in the industry, everybody doesn't have that persona. Everybody doesn't have a certain flow. You look like you're there for something else. And then when I met you and we did the radio show, I was like, because I said it, I was like, you really got great chops. Where are you coming? Not knowing that you were doing stuff before you got into the industry.
Yeah. What was I saying?
Oh, so
why it changed, why my goals had changed was when my family started to find out, and my mom and my grandmother, all of them started to find out. I was like, okay, now I need to make lemonades out this lemon.
How did you? Well, so who said Lord, and who was like, Lord Jesus, I didn't do, or who was like, talk to me, come in. Who, mom? You said your mom and your grandmother. Who found out first?
I believe my grandmother found out first.
Is she a praying, church going?
Yeah, she's a very praying and church going grandma, but she know her grandbaby. No, but she know her grandbaby. She knows me. She knows I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and she knows me. She knows. I walk by my own drum. I play my own music, so she knows that of me. And we used to talk all the time. We used to talk every day, so she knew. Even when I was offered about 2 years ago,
abreast of I'm about to go and do something, but I'm checking out this stuff and working with these people.
So she kind of knew a little bit on some things, but she said, "Baby, you don't have to do that." That's what she said to me. "Baby, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that, baby." She said, "You know, the nude is okay, the new model is okay, but you don't really have to do that." I was like, "Oh, I understand, Grandma. Okay," and but I was still doing it anyway, not knowing. So I figured I was just sending her money back, her and my mom money back to help, with their situation. And that was it until, some family members went in and exposed me to my grandmother. And she still didn't say nothing to me. She still hadn't said, she had knew like 6 months and I didn't know. And she still hadn't said I came home. But I remember her one day saying, "Baby, you don't got to go back. You can stay." I'm like, I'm going back. Like, I'm going back. But what she said is, "I know you." She said, "And I love you regardless of anything." She said, "So baby, you just be safe out there." She said, don't matter what nobody else say." That's what my grandmother said. And my mama said, she said, "Girl, I'm not here to judge you." She said, "Nobody could judge you but God." And then my mama said, "Do y'all really have sex?"
I ain't gonna watch it, but is it really sex?
Yeah. And so through these years, my mother has been one of my biggest supporters because she understands. She understands me. She understands my drive.
You had the event at the house after you opened. She wasn't there.
Did. She was. Yeah, she was there. She was there. You met her.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Man.
Yes, you met her. But then that's when I knew I need to turn this around, but still be able to do everything else that I wanted to do with my production company, Mainstream. And that's when I really started going full force with it and branding Nyomi Banks. And that's what it was. Now it's a branding thing. Now my whole thing is I'm going to be the Black version of Jenna Jameson. That was my goal then. And I think I was on that level on getting there. I kind of did a lot of other things like the femdom. Oh my God, I love, the dominatrix. That was my new thing. I probably was in the industry for about 2 years before I really got into it. I was introduced by Angela D'Angelo. She saw me on set doing something else. And she said,
for those who know, what is femdom?
Femdom and dominatrix is the same thing. Is and y'all know what dominatrix is, don't you? That is where you have BDSM.
Say it again.
BDSM.
What's Did you lean into the microphone like you was? I guess
BDSM.
500. What is BDSM?
You don't know. I can't even think.
About this is hilarious. They're not gonna know. I don't know. Blushing and everything. Banks blush on my show.